Hello guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle Expert. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I hope that you have hit the subscribe button and that you're going to enjoy all the content that is on this channel and that is to come. And if you're an oldie regular that has been coming here all the time, welcome back. It's so good to have you. So today I want to talk about something that is very life-giving, and I want to use this video as just a point of encouragement to whoever it is that is actually watching. I have been doing a lot of posts. If you don't follow me on Instagram, this is definitely the right time to do so. All my links are down below, and I've been doing a lot of post on my Instagram reflecting over my year, you know, what I did, what I didn't do, and that sort of thing. And I did an Instagram live, and one of the biggest questions that we were talking about was, did you manage to do everything that you said you wanted to do this entire year, right? Because that's such a big question. When the year starts, we have all these goals and all these things that we want to do, and you know, we run them through, whatever the case is, and we're so eager and we're so motivated. And then we get into the year, either life happens to us, the year happens, like a lot happens, and towards the end may easily come that anxiety, or rather thought process of asking yourself if you have really gotten, you know, where you wanted to get. Did you do the things that you wanted to do? Did you do the things that you promised yourself that you wanted to do? And that's been a very interesting question that I have been asking myself. And to be quite honest, you guys know I'm very vulnerable with you guys on all the videos really on this channel. And when I was asking myself that question, I actually realized that I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do this year. I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to do this year. And the moment that dawned on me, I feel like a tiny little wave of sadness just like covered me a little bit, right? Because I felt like, you know, whenever we start the year, we get very ambitious and we talk about all these things that we want to do. And the whole idea of like planning for your year, right, is so that you can do these things, so that you can plan around the year and right? But after I like thought about this for a very long time, here's what then came to my spirit, because y'all know we love Jesus, right? And what really came to my heart was that, like the word of God says, I don't remember the actual like scripture, but it says something along the lines of like, the man thinks of the plans, the man plans, and then God directs, you know? And I thought about that, and I was asking myself, like, what does that mean? And what does that have to do with the feeling that I have right now of feeling like I didn't get to do everything that I would have wanted to do this year? Because I started the year on a high note, wanting to do all these amazing things, and I did do amazing things, but I didn't do everything that I wanted to do. And then it dawned on me that I actually did so much this year, but it was directed by God, right? I did so much this year that took me to a different level and a different place in my life that might not necessarily have been part of my plan, but has worked together for my good. And when I look back, I'm like, okay, this is how I wanted this year to end. Am I there, or am I even in a better situation? And when I looked at myself, I thought to myself, I actually am in a better situation. Not because I've achieved a lot of things, no, but because of this important thing. I took the year to work on myself. Like, if you're watching this video, you need to give me a round of applause, because if you have been going through like a journey of just identity and working on yourself and healing, you will know that it's not an easy thing to do. You will know that it requires so much of you, and by so much of you, I mean that you are literally coming off anxiety, coming off depression, and really just going through this whole entire thing that now you feel like is getting in the way of your work, is getting in the way of the things that you actually love doing. And how do you come across that? And I had to realize that the work that I have done on myself is actually more than enough, and it is a lot. And that work that I've done on myself is going to actually allow me to leap forward and do more things in the time and the seasons to come, because I'm a way better Michelle. I'm a more wiser Michelle. I'm a more healing Michelle. I say healing because I believe that it's usually a lifetime process, you know, because we go through, and as much as we are like healing over things, we're also going through other things. So it's a healing, it's a process throughout our journey, but it's important to acknowledge that that is also part of the journey. That is something that we are in the process of, and that really made me smile. That took away that sense of sadness that I was feeling, that sense of feeling like, oh, I had 10 boxes and I only ticked 6. or some people, I remember on the live were saying that I literally did less of the things that I planned to do this year. Some were saying 80%, and it also just brought back the conversation we always have on this channel about consistency, right? Because that also plays in our lives. That consistency is the consistency in our lives. Are we consistent with the plans that we've set up to do, the strategy, and I then remembered my own quote, which is consistency is frequency. How much of the things that you did influenced you the right way? Because when I look back, I'm like, I could have pushed to do all the things I wanted to do, but was I in the right state of mind? Would I have been able to do them? Would I have made better decisions to make these things grow or to grasp these opportunities the way that I thought they would? And when I look back, I'm like, I don't think so. I think that these opportunities, even in a bigger scale, would be much more better coming to me right now, because I feel like I have gone through a certain season that will help me carry them, that will help me harness them, and that will help me grow them, And that was something that was so important to acknowledge the things that happened. It might not necessarily be the things that you planned, but the things that happened that will set you off, in a better position. I had to look at, my plan. Many of you guys know I had a salon that I was running all of last year in and out through a COVID, and I had to shut it down this year. And that was a really painful moment, because I was really hoping that by this time I'd probably be opening a second one, right? But when I look back, I also am so grateful, because I look at what closing that down gave me time for. Like, every time I had time, I'd obviously give it into that salon, and I really loved it because it was my business. But when I closed it, I then decided to dedicate my time to something else, just trying to improvise and look for how I can invest my time into other things that would be able to take me to the next level. And I think it's been such a big lesson that sometimes it's not about, it's important that we plan and we step by step of like where we want to go, but sometimes it's not about the what happens through the process, but whether or not you get there. And if you are looking at your life right now and feeling like you haven't been able to do the things that you want to do this year, or you weren't as successful as you thought you were, or you've got all these things about where you should have been and where versus where you are right now, I really just want to encourage you and say, look at the things that happened, look at the lessons that happened, look at where you are right now, and look at the things that, really, even if it's life happening to you, I feel like sometimes we are forced into healing, and I've been having a lot of conversations, and the majority of people have been through this season where we didn't say, well, it's time to go sit down and heal. No, we were forced into it because we couldn't function as best as we couldn't. And in as much as that time, obviously, that took time off from us working and doing the things that we said we were going to do, or doing just a number of things, whatever it is for you, but that also opened up time for you to know yourself, to birth new ideas, to receive new opportunities from those new ideas. So I'm just encouraging you to look at life holistically and look at life as a seasonal life, and learn to appreciate the things that have worked for you right now. Learn to appreciate the things that have taken you to the next level. It could be mentally, it might not even be monetary. It could be the type of relationships that you've built this year. It could be a relationship that you've manifested this year. It could easily be, a promotion. Whatever it is, no matter how small it is so big, because beginning of the year, it is something that you did not have. And even if you didn't want it, or you didn't subconsciously think that it's something that you need this year, it came at the right time, and God knows. And to also just say that, God plans. God knows where our lives are going. If we talk about our surrender to God and giving everything to God, what we're basically saying is that even if I plan this and it doesn't turn out how I planned it, I'm still going to trust that we are going to get where you have made me see, or what I have envisioned, or what you've placed in my heart, because you're a great God. And that's just part of what I've learned this year. It's just total surrender, and realizing that sometimes it might not always work as I have planned, but it will always work together for my good. It might not work as I would have wanted it to be, no matter how heartbreaking, no matter how stressful, no matter how inconveniencing, but it will always work together for my good, because I know who carries my life. I know who has my life in their hands. And I just want to leave that to you today, that God has your life in his hands. You are going to achieve all the things that you want to achieve, if not even more. Like, there are certain parts in my life where beginning of the year, I was planning to be somewhere, and now when I look at it, I'm like, wait, actually the way that God has now positioned me, I'm actually way more ahead. It didn't happen the way I had planned it happened differently, but hey, I'm actually here right now, as opposed to where I had planned, which was just here. So it just really, I think that what I'm really just sharing with you guys right now vulnerably just opened me up to trusting God a little bit more, and just surrendering and just saying, you know what? You are the pillar that holds my life, and you are the master, and I'm just going to hand over everything to you. I'm going to plan, because that is important. I'm going to do what I can, but once I've done all that I can, I'm going to trust you to do all that you can, because you know far much more than I do, and you have my destiny, my plan, my future into your hands. So that's just a word that I wanted to share with you guys, and I really hope that it encourages you, it speaks to you in any way. If you have been feeling some type of way about to-do lists this year, or getting anything done that you feel like you haven't managed to get done, take it easy on yourself. We still have a long time to go. I literally am so tempted to film this video, but I'll just say this: life is not as short as we say it is. You know, done right, you can live up to 80, and if you're in your 30s, you still have a long way to go. So patience is definitely the long game, and just being able to